Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow, The Walking Dead episode 17 and 18 is premiering on AMC Plus. I'm super excited. So in this video here, we're going to talk about that. And I also want to talk about that last season trailer that they did drop yesterday, which I kind of think is the perfect way to start this. To be honest, it's kind of the best trailer I think they ever really dropped about this series. Like, it's not complete yet, and that's the crazy thing about all of this, is that it's not complete yet. At some point in the future, I imagine, 2-3 months down the road, like, they could put something together like this and include like the last, 8 episodes here, how The Walking Dead ends, how it sort of sets up some of the Rick stuff. But it's really incredible watching the trailer. Like I actually have it playing in front of me right here. I have it muted in front of me. I'm just sort of watching it, and like, I really love the fact that, first of all, there's a couple new scenes in here that haven't been seen yet from the last 8 episodes, but I mean, they're not really noteworthy. I believe Sebastian is like recording himself on a camera. And there's another shot of whatever, but there's not too much that's new. It's more of the stuff that we've already seen from part 2, from part 1 of season 11, the stuff during the Whisperer arc, and the mixtures of all of that with scenes from, season 5 with Tyrese, going back to season 7, going back to season 1 and 2, seeing Shane, going through the governor arc, and then seeing the governor next to a shot of Beta or whatever, right? Like, it's just a mixture of all of it, and seeing the story told like this over, how epic the story is, how many years it's been going on for, it's actually really incredible, especially if you're a fan of the comic, because this story, this show, is the story of the comic. Like, this is literally the story of the comic book, and they told it, I think, so perfectly well. I think that obviously there's some like criticism there, in terms of just how they've handled, Carl's death, Carl's storyline in general, some of the cliffhanger stuff. But when you're just looking at this trailer anyways, and you just sort of see the scenes as it's playing through, it is truly epic. Honestly, it is really amazing. And the one thing that I will say about Carl's death is, as much as I really do disagree with it, I think the moment's amazing. I think, and I even thought so back then, like I remember saying, like, I hate this episode. This is so stupid. Why are you doing this? But the moment, just those last moments between Rick and Carl, oh man, just too good. And so it's one of those things where it's like, well, if the moment was good, if the scene was actually good, does that make it a good decision? You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to say, because I'm such a huge fan of The Walking Dead. Like, if it happened in the comic, would it make it okay on the show then, right? So it's kind of interesting, like looking back on that moment years later and stuff like that. But regardless of all of that, I think that this was just the perfect trailer to drop. I know a lot of people criticized the last one that they did, because it was like, I don't know, it had that weird filter on it. I really don't understand why they released that with that filter on it. Like, it wasn't really a trailer. This here is a trailer. This is a celebration of The Walking Dead. So I'm excited for this. Honestly, I can't wait to start. And we're going to be starting tonight. So I hope that tonight you guys definitely join me on Twitch. I'm going to be there tonight watching episode 17 and 18 and reacting to it. You guys will be able to, hear my reaction for the first time. And I'll talk with you guys while I'm watching the episode. We'll sort of get into some stuff there. And yeah, I'm going to be doing this every single Sunday. So yeah, tonight, episode 17 and 18. So join me on Twitch. I'm going to be there watching the first 2 episodes, and we'll also do some gaming and stuff beforehand. We'll play some Minecraft. I think I'm going to start off with playing Phasmophobia and stuff, and then we'll go over to Minecraft, explore some of the new Walking Dead creations that people have made, and yeah, just sort of do a countdown until that first episode drops, and then we'll watch the second one right after. And every single Saturday, I'm going to be doing that, going into Sunday morning or whatever, right? And it's just going to be epic, honestly. I really wanted to celebrate these last 8 properly and really make it feel like it was just, honestly, just like awesome and just epic. And I feel this is sort of the best way to do it. Get my reviews and trailer breakdowns and all that stuff like out early. And yeah, I hope to see you guys there tonight. The channel name is Appetite for the Dead. The link is in the description. But this brand new trailer, like I said, it gave me goosebumps, and it did make me realize how much I love this show. Like all the montages of random scenes together from every scene, or every single scene throughout the series, was just crazy. And I think the trailer, it just works so well together. And I was talking about controversies before. I know that all that's there, but when you're watching it, you just sort of have to put that aside and just look at the moments, right? I know that there's a lot of criticisms of season 6, 7, and 8, or at least more specifically 7 and 8. And I would even throw season 3 in there, to be honest, because I remember back then, like, people liked 1 and 2. Even then, people still kind of criticized 2, but season 3 people really didn't like. And then 4 and 5 obviously picked it up quite a bit. But still, regardless of all of that, this is the story. These are the characters. This is the Walking Dead family, right? And I think the story has worked so well, and it's built up to this moment. Like, this is such an epic zombie apocalypse story. It really is. And it's just crazy watching all of this. And if you've watched it too, you probably know exactly what I'm saying. But I think what's amazing about this is that, we're getting this ending, and we're going to talk about 17 and 18. I'll talk about that in a second and sort of the hype for the last 8 here. But like, what's epic about this is the fact that Rick is coming back next year, to close out this story. And who knows how long that show is going to go on for. It's not going to be 10 years. It's not going to be 6 years. I imagine that show at the most is going to be 4 years. I've talked about this in the past. Like, I think for sure they're doing a season 1 with 6 episodes. I think there's going to be 3 seasons for sure. Because again, I know people are sort of correlating, those 6 episodes as like, oh, it's 6 hours, and the movie would have been a trilogy, or the movie trilogy would have been a trilogy with 2 hours each, so it would have been 6 hours. So that story there is going to be told here. The difference there is there's so much more to tell in terms of where the characters are at and stuff, and just what's going on in general, that I think 3 seasons makes the most sense, because you're telling the story in terms of how you tell a story on television. The format's different. You can't really tell a movie, on a television show. Like, the story just doesn't work, because in a movie, the story's very fast paced. You can't really do that on a television show where you're releasing episode by episode every week, because it's just too much. It's too crazy. Like, it never works. So I think 3 seasons is probably what they're thinking. And to be honest, I feel like it's going to be 3 seasons and then maybe one last season at the very end. Like, maybe they'll do a season 4, or just do like a different show where every character comes together. Or maybe that's going to be season 4. I don't know how they're going to do it. I really don't know. But the point is, Rick's coming back, and we're going to close out everything here. With episode 17 and 18 tonight, we're really building up to this big moment here where it's, like The Walking Dead is back, and it's time to celebrate these last 8 episodes, because this is the end of an era. This is the end of this show. And when Rick returns next year, obviously things will be rejuvenated. I mean, weirdly, things will be rejuvenated once the show ends. I see a lot of people excited for, just our first Rick teaser and stuff like that. But yeah, like, I think after all that, like, honestly, if you were to ask me how long does this version of the Walking Dead universe have left, I would say at the most 5 years. And I think that's a perfect amount of time to close out this whole story here, because I think we wanted more of Rick. Rick's story isn't done yet. There's so much there. There's so much history here. It's not ready to be done in even 2 years or 3 years, right? There's still so much stuff to tell here with the Civic Republic plot. And so I think 5 years, maybe even 4 years, like by 2026, 2027, I think the story is going to be done. Because you got to remember, the Rick TV show is premiering next year, right? It's not this year in 2022. So it's premiering in 23. Season 2 would happen in 24, season 3 in 25. And so if they wanted to do a season 4, I guess it would have to be in 2026. Right. And so I could see it ending there. 2026, I think that makes a lot of sense around that point there. Yeah, just all of this coming to an end sort of thing. And I think they probably are working on all of that right now. I think they know, what the story is going to be right now, because it's already been confirmed out there that this, this first season is the first of a continuing series. And so it just depends on how long they want to go for here. But I do feel like in the grand scheme of things, I really feel like we are in the final act here. That's honestly how it feels. It really feels like these last 8 episodes are the beginning of the final act of the universe, right? And I'm not talking about doing like a next generation show and all of that, because obviously they could do that, but it really feels like the CRM plot is the final act of this story. Considering going back to season 1, there was a bunch of stuff with, obviously Rick saw a helicopter, right, in episode 1, which hasn't really been explained yet. And there's been a lot of mysteries like that sort of throughout the entire series, like Rick kept seeing the letter A everywhere or stuff like that. And obviously that was sort of a nod or Easter egg to the A and B plot with Jadis and the CRM. So the CRM have sort of been a thing since the very beginning. And I think it's only fitting to have the Rick and Michonne TV show, focused on that. And I imagine Dead City and the Daryl show will also be focused on that plot as well. But I think it makes sense for this to be sort of the final plot in all of it here. And so that's why going into episode 17 and 18, I'm very excited for tonight. I really cannot wait to watch this episode. As of recording it, I believe I'm going to start watching it in like 6 hours, because I sometimes get it early. And if I get it early, I'm going to be super happy. So in about 6 hours as of recording this, it depends on when this goes live. Maybe it'll only be like 3-4 hours then. But I'm really excited. I cannot wait. Tonight is going to be a lot of fun. So I hope to see you guys there on Twitch tonight. If not, then I'll be posting my review early in the morning Sunday. Like, I'm going to have my review for episode 17 and my review for episode 18 out. I'm also going to do a trailer breakdown for episode 19 and stuff. Then I'll do a bunch of like videos breaking down the episodes and certain moments like that all day tomorrow, and then obviously Monday and stuff throughout the week. I really can't wait. The Walking Dead's back. It's the 1st of October. Definitely post your thoughts down below. How hyped are you? Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.